wait till he's ready. Are you ready?
Yeah.
Test, test, test. Wow. Well, tell us what happened.
Well, it was crazy. I'm an early to bedder. I had turned on the porch lights in the front, and we have porch lights and spotlights on our deck, and I had turned those on. Everything else was turned off. I had gone to bed. I'd only been in bed about 15 minutes, and I heard, kind of a loud knock on my front door. But often FedEx and UPS will do that, and so I wasn't alarmed. But then, in just about 10 more minutes, I heard something that was quite loud on the back of my house, and so I was a little bit startled, but I got up and peeked out my bedroom window and to see if I saw anything. I did not, and then I thought, well, my son was going to come this morning to take our garbage up, and I didn't know whether he'd come last night. But I thought, because I was hearing steps downstairs, and so I thought it was strange that the light was not on, and he didn't call out. So I thought, well, if I can walk from my bedroom down here and look out this window, then I can see if a vehicle's in my driveway. And I did that, crossed over my landing, but looked down and did not see anything. But after I looked out the window, I got a little bit nervous, a lot nervous.
Right.
And I picked up my phone and went and crouched down as close to my stairwell as possible, but close to a door where I could kind of hear downstairs. No lights were on downstairs. I called 911 and was whispering, and I could hear somebody in the house. And crazy thing was I heard water running, and I thought, why in the world's the water running? Then the next thing I knew, he was coming up the steps about this far from me, and no lights were on, and he came up the steps and turned to go down my hallway. And it wasn't too long after that, I thought, why is my alarm not going off? Because it was set. And the alarm went off, and all of a sudden, it was almost like a startled, and came bounding down the steps. And I just heard the noise. I didn't know how he was getting out, or if he was getting out. But it was like, my light on's in the kitchen, and I don't know when that, and the people on the end said that, on 911 said that Charlotte Met Police would be there soon, but to stay in talking with the lady. And so when they got here, which was not too long after that, she said, wait till you can see them and identify themselves. And so I waited till I could see the police, and then they came, and they checked all downstairs, came up and checked all upstairs, and they kept me on the upstairs. And next thing I knew, they said they were having canine unit and the helicopters and checking outside. And I didn't have any idea how they had gotten in or if they'd been damaged or anything.
Do you think it was one or one?
I only saw the one, so I think it must have been. It was the craziest thing. I thought, how in the world did somebody get in my house? Nothing was broken. They came in, they pried a window open and came in a window. I had glassware in the window. I had, Christmas candle in the window. None of the bulbs were even broken. But the only thing that was out of ordinary was I had written a nice card yesterday. It was torn and on the floor. And the police said they probably were looking for money, But they went out I have French doors on my deck, and they hadn't been opened up in a long time, but they went out went between two plants, never even turned the plants over. I mean, you know, so it was, I don't know what it was almost like, I felt like, gosh, has somebody been looking at my house to be doing this? I don't know.
Yeah, from the time that you did the 911 to the time they came, I mean, what was going through your mind?
I just was, I was shaking so bad, and thank the Lord. I'm a heavy believer in the Lord, and I just kept saying, Lord, keep me safe, keep me safe. And the lady on the other end was telling me to breathe, and she was continuing to be very calm, and I just stayed on the phone with her, and I just kept praying, you know, that the Lord would keep me safe. And I didn't know what was happening downstairs because I could hear noise, you know, but anyway.
They didn't get anything?
Not that we know of. We haven't seen anything out of place as far as computer or any of that kind of stuff.
Do you know how big the person was or what they were dressed like?
The only thing I know is that when he came up the steps, I sensed he was full grown. I couldn't see any kind of type of nationality or anything. And when he came bounding down, I sensed that he had something that had some red on it, but the other part seemed dark. And I thought that he had either a skull cap type thing or else a hoodie type thing on his head. But it was, and we have a door right down the stairway. You know why he didn't get out that door, instead go through the kitchen into the den and out that other door. It was almost like he knew what he was doing, you know?
Yeah, that's what I was going to ask you. How safe do you feel now after
well,
this?
My son came over last night, and my husband was out of town. And I later went and spent the night at my daughter's. I learned from the police that it is wise to, you know, just keep some lights on and even some music or something like that. So I will be doing that also. But I don't know that he even knew I was there, which I'm very thankful for, because I was running through my mind, what do I do if he comes in here and finds me? So I'm safe, and I'm doing fine with the sunlight. It makes a big difference.
Yeah,
and I was thinking, you know, we had so much rain. It's amazing that he could even get through, you know, the muddiness or anything. So.
Yeah, I was gonna say, have you had any strangers over at your house recently?
My husband was here, and we had someone do clean out in our chimney. But that's otherwise, the workers who've been around have been ones that have been coming for, you know, for
the same
time.
Workers?
Yeah, we have the same lawn people and the same.
But I'm talking about inside the house.
Inside, and that I haven't had. That's the only thing that's been different. And I don't know whether there has been anything around with other people or not.
They said, the neighbor said that he ran through their yard.
Okay.
And the police came by to try to pick it up on camera, but unfortunately they didn't see anything because they've got the cameras trained. Yeah. But they did see, Kevin, did they see the ground disturbed or something like that? They said something about that?
I didn't hear that.
They said that the husband was telling me that they saw the ground look like they were looking at the ground to see if he had run through that way. But she theorized that he went down this way and cut through their yard, because she said, so he had already started to leave. They first heard the alarm. She said, Dana told us that her friend, I want to say Teresa, who's a house away, said, do you hear the alarm? and she said she wasn't paying attention to the alarm as much as she then heard her dog start really barking, and that's when she thinks he came through her yard, and then they think he went through the woods and then up to the church because they were looking at
say
the
that
church.
that's what I heard on the dispatch. I guess it was. I kept hearing near the church. They're near the church or something. And the only thing is the AME Zion, which is a couple of blocks and down. But I thought that maybe cutting through those woods would have been what they might have